Welcome back, everybody, to the 10th anniversary Hunter Burton Memorial Open Top 4. 8 different decks in top 8. It's been an absolute blast to watch. I'm not Aspiring Spike, sorry to disappoint. I am Young Dingo. Joined with me is Krista. Krista, you ready to look at this top 4?
Yeah, it is. I was so surprised looking at this top 8, seeing what came out today. 8 different decks. A lot of diversity out there.
The Violent Outburst ban really breathed some new life into the format. We see our top 4 of Jund Creativity versus Mono Green, Tron, Chaz Alexander versus Andrea Lay, Sam on Merfolk, and Trent Snipes on Amulet Titan. And the other side of the bracket, pretty exciting matchups. Who do you got for each side of the bracket, Krista?
I think in the Jund Creativity versus Mono Green Tron, I think Creativity might be able to take it down. Tron's gonna have a whole bunch to interact with possibly the Creativity combo, and they just may have a lot of like counter spells and stuff, like the Force Negations. I guess it's Jund, so I guess there's no Force Negations. I don't know. I still think Jund Creativity. I actually put this deck in to possibly win the event. I think it's in a really good position right now.
And what about the Merfolk versus Amulet type matchup? What you got there?
I think Merfolk might take it down.
I have to agree. I think all of the land disruption plus the fast clock on the side of Merfolk is going to give them an edge in the big mana matchup.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be watching right now.
Oh, perfect. I think the Spell Piercer Force Negations on the Amulets is going to be brutal for our Titan players. So let's see if that's how it plays out.
Yeah, Trent is the 6th seed, so he'll be taking the play here. Starts on what I like to call Splinter Twin, which is... Oh, no, that's just an Expedition map. That is not an Amulet.
Oh, yeah.
That's the new art Expedition
Not quite
map.
as brutal as it could have been. Although I believe we will see this Saga eventually grabbing our Amulet.
Oh, wow, just a turn 1 Tide Shaper on the side of Sam. Not waiting to kick that and kill the Urza Saga.
Yeah, cold Tide Shaper here.
That's surprising to see that. Mm-hmm. Tapping the Urza Saga again. Is this an Amulet? It is an Amulet.
It is Amulet.
He must have drawn that for turn, because I would have expected him to play it out turn 1, but it looks like just the Expedition map on turn 1 instead. Not respecting the Spell Pierces.
Yeah, no, 2 colorless lands on the side of the Amulet Titan player here. Kind of interesting. We do have another Merfolk Tide Shaper. We are going to kick it.
Got to run out the first one just to get a little bit of clock going here. Can't give the Amulet player too much time to reassemble with these non-bounce lands.
Due to state-based effects, the Saga will die.
Yeah.
So not getting that trigger for the other, maybe they would grab another Amulet and they're not getting any dudes this turn.
Yeah, no, Urza Saga tokens to be made. Couldn't have made them anyways because he played on 1.
True. Kind of devastating here for the Amulet Titan player. Going to be hard to come back for this.
They're just 1/1s, though, at the very moment because no islands on the side of Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Not the fastest clock. We might see a Lord come down here.
It does give him a lot of time to assemble quite the board, though, getting the Amulet Titan player to stumble a little bit with that land miss.
Absolutely. No bounce lands on the side of Trent yet. Just trying to develop the mana naturally.
Nothing to abuse that Amulet yet.
Cracks the Expedition map. This might be getting a bounce land. Maybe a second Urza Saga.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might see a bounce land here to try to utilize that Amulet a little better, and that's what we do see, Simic Growth Chamber.
Coming down, going to produce 4 mana next turn. Might be able to slam a ring here, but we'll see if Voldaren Hexcatcher has anything to say about that. I didn't get a good peek at Sam's hand because he's
keeping it pretty close to the chest here.
Yeah, quite close to the chest. Yep, trigger.
Oh, here we go. Looks like
Tidebinder. Oh, Tidebinder's going to come down, and it's going to stop the Amulet trigger, and it's going to render it completely useless as long as the Tidebinder is on the table.
Wow. That's incredible. No untap here, no
untap, still has to bounce a land. That was an incredible tempo swing from Sam, and we see Sam also has the subtlety in hand as well. This is
Sam's just so in charge at this point. Match is heavily in his favor right now.
This is looking insane for Sam. Gets to come across for 5 here as well. Oh, Obstacle the Lord. Looking to pitch the subtlety instead.
We have 2 Lords.
Combat 2, 4, 9.
Quite the swing here. Those 1/1s are now beefy.
Yeah, Trent says you go to 6. Or sorry, Sam says you go to 6, Trent. You better have something real good here. Ring's not
Blur
going to do
is
it.
out.
Ring's not going to do it. Titan's not going to do it.
Plays the sun home again.
Yeah, one ring. Says, I sack my 1-drop.
Yeah,
Non-creature
that's gonna
spell.
get countered.
Scoops it
Packs
up.
it up.
Turn 4 win. That's the modern we know and love. Sam taking the first game already absolutely tempoed out of the game.
All the Merfolk lovers out there must be so happy right now.
Nikachu absolutely just cheering right now. I imagine.
I bet he's watching.
I bet he is too. I'm not sure what we have for sideboards. If you wanted to pull up the list, we can take a look at some of the sideboards. Never mind.
No access right now. We'll see if we can get that up in the next minute, see what's going on.
Yeah, I would love to see what the Merfolk and Amulet Titan player are going to bring in the matchup. I imagine maybe on the side of Amulet, we got some dismembers to bring in. Maybe Merfolk's got additional spreading seas type effect.
Yeah, I assume maybe some more spreading seas type effects and extra force negations. I don't know if he's playing, how many he's playing in main board.
All right, looks like we are already in the game too. We got a little bit of movie magic to skip the sideboarding.
Looks
Shout
like
out to
we
the
have
producer.
a Lord in hand for Sam. I think that was... There's a Spell Pierce, which is great. Unfortunately, can't counter this Amulet right now.
Yeah, Spell Pierce notably a lot better on the play than it is in the draw in this matchup. Not being able to counter that first Amulet could spell Doom, but you still have that
Subtlety
4.
in hand, though, back up in case the Titan does try and come down.
Yeah, absolutely. Subtlety's still going to be great, but the Spell Pierce is probably looking to snipe a ring at this point.
Yeah, gonna be a little dead for a bit.
There's a second Amulet. That one gets Spell
Amulet,
Pierce. Okay, Spell Pierce. And then the post land drop of shame. I probably want to play a bounce land off that second Amulet, so I can't fault him for playing the post Spell Pierce land drop. But it is unfortunate the way that lined up. It is a Cavern of Souls too.
You gotta respect the Spell Pierce.
I imagine it's probably naming Giant for prime time, although it might be on Dryad.
That's possible.
Probably
Throwing Vestige in here.
What's going on first?
Probably making a green mana.
Big man of that.
The mana skip.
Sam said, which one? Meaning probably has Tidebinder in hand. Get a Tidebinder in this Amulet again? Rendering. Oh no, just let the untap happen. 4. Karn.
Karn, the great creator.
That's been Trent's secret tech of the weekend. A lot of these Amulet lists have since then cut Karn, but Trent's still trying to sport the 4-mana Planeswalker. And Sam's thinking about it. Now that the Spell Pierce is gone, could Subtlety it.
Yeah, he would have to evoke the Subtlety here to play it, as he does not have 4 mana to hard cast it, so he would be going down some cards in hand. That might not be where he wants to be.
Yeah, Sam tanking on it a little bit. Maybe has a counterspell. Because the counterspell's not going to do too much with that Cavern of Souls being on the other side of the table.
Exile Lord Atlantis, subtlety.
He will be subtletying here, putting Karn on top of the Amulet player's library.
Might bottom it depending on the rest of the hand here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was on top. Oh, nope.
Nope,
He's
bottom.
gonna bottom it.
Sure, and step. Tap 2.
Passes the
Hex
turn.
Catcher. From tap.
Yeah, couldn't Hex Catcher the Karn because of that forest that is still untapped on the side of Trent.
Need a vault.
Catcher's such a powerful card.
was a
Lord
great
plus sack, counter your
Oh yeah, that plus Tidebinder has really pushed Merfolk to become
Use the
more of a
summons.
meta deck than it used to be for sure.
insane. Very, very good. I'm thinking.
Remember trying to get a beta key for that game?
Ups the lands. Might want to hold something up this turn. Not sure what he has right now.
Might get frisky and animate Immutable. That's 3 damage, that's not nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely not nothing. And getting a clock on Titan is probably pretty important.
I don't think Sam has a counterspell because he probably would have preferred to counterspell the Karn, but
He may
maybe-
have another subtlety in hand. He might be thinking about hard casting. Not now, of course, but holding up mana to hard cast for the next turn or something.
Right. He could use Mutavault to animate Mutavault and then still hold up double blue though.
Sam in the tank now.
Looks like just a pair of cards on the side of the Amulet Titan player. Oh no, it's 3 cards, 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of gas to work with. Imagine that Cavern Soul is making things kind of tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Just sends it for 1.
Trade Shipper. Cavern of
Big
Souls.
Tide Shaper.
Yeah, it says Cavern Souls.
Pretty good here.
Big Tide Shaper again.
Yeah, pick Tide Shaper.
On Forest.
Those are islands.
Yeah. Didn't choose the Beseiju. Probably because Trent would be looking to balance the Beseiju with a bounce land to then channel it later. So opts to go with the
Another Amulet.
Forest instead.
Yeah, that resolves.
Just an Amulet and a pass. No bounce land.
Yeah, I wonder what Trent's working with over there. Is that a Dismember and a...
Grazer. I can't tell. It's a little bit dark. It looks like it's a Summoner's Pact.
Summoner's
model.
Pact. Yeah, that's a Summoner's Pact.
7. Looks like a main. Semifinal. Pass the turn.
Back for 7, second main phase, Svelun of the Sea and the Sky. Passing of the turn, all of those Merfolk now have Ward 1.
Yeah, Svelun's going to be quite the beater here, really bringing that clock down on Trent.
Yeah, 2 islands means any lord, and Trent will not be able to block in combat. And Trent just scoops
Looks
it
like
up.
I need to land.
Yeah, couldn't pay the pack trigger with not enough green sources there.
He just said I needed a land. Had didn't have
Yeah.
any mana to cast any prime time, any grazer, and Sam advances onto the finals already.
Merfolk takes it down. Do you
Wow.
think Merfolk might win the weekend?
I hope so. I would be excited to see the largest modern tournament since the ban list be taken down by nothing other than Fish.
That'd be honestly pretty exciting. Maybe a good upset here.
I'm excited, and I'm also excited to see the match on the other side of the table as well between Tron and what was it again?
Creativity.
5-color creativity. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, Jund creativity. 5-color did not advance.
Yes. Tron player at heart here, you know, I wish them luck.
It looks like a big mulligan from the Tron player into a Thoughtseize. Maybe not a big mulligan. Still has a decent chunk of cards in hand. Andrea with a power plant and a pass. Pretty painful mana base on the side of Junk creativity with all these shocks and the Thoughtseizes. It's not going to matter too much. in this
Bit of
matchup.
reunion down here for Chaz.
Oh, discards the Rakdos Survey land.
Couldn't tell you what the name of that one was.
It's something theater.
Yeah.
I call it Rakdos Theater for
Rakdos
simplicity.
Theater. Yeah, I can get along with that. No second Tron land for Andrea.
Sylvan's Crime? Yeah,
He's going to Sylvan Scrying here, probably getting another Tron land.
most definitely either power
3
plant
dismembers
or
right at
mine.
the bottom of Andrea's deck.
Tower. Sorry, I meant to say mine or tower. Not power plant. Power plant already in play.
Yes, correct.
And after that, it's going to be your go.
Cards in hand. 4. Drop.
Passes back. Turn 3 is a crucial turn for creativity. It might be a Fable type of a turn.
Cracks the Scalding Tarn on his turn.
Didn't discard Archon to the Bitter Reunion, so we won't see any Persist shenanigans just yet. I imagine this is a Fable off of that Stomping Ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He'll get the Goblin, 2/2 Goblin.
Go ahead.
Standard band All-Star Fable.
This is going to get a little scary because that Goblin's going to make treasure tokens, which are great creativity targets, also pays for bigger creativities.
Absolutely, and with Andrea not having Tron for at least another turn, there's an O-Stone.
Glowstone. Unfortunately, can't activate it. This is going to be an open turn for Chaz to nail down that creativity.
Yeah, I'm sure Chaz is going to be looking to bin an Archon here, or alternatively, maybe just go for a Creativity X2. Dwarven Mine, as the land plus an attack would definitely let him creativity X2, targeting the Goblin Shaman and the 1/1.
That would put him pretty ahead here, I would say.
Combat.
Yeah, go to combat.
Yep.
Smack. 2. Although, might not want to overcommit into the O-Stone, which is totally understandable. Might be looking to go for a creativity plus haste in the same turn, just to close out the game in one shot. Waiting to see if Andrea has the rest of Tron here. Do you have the mine? I see a mine in hand. And an Ugin.
That'll be Tron. It'd be pretty good to wipe the board this turn, I suspect. Really limiting their options. Well, I guess you want to hold it up in case they do creativity.
Yeah, it's... I also see a One Ring and an Urza Saga as the rest of Andrea's hand, so maybe she plays it more conservatively and decides just to play a ring past the turn and bide more time, see if Chaz wants to commit more to the board before sweeping it up with Ugin or O-Stone.
Oh, she calls for a judge here. Unsure what the call is going to be about.
See a judge intervention come out. Looks like it's the oracle text of a card is being asked for. Maybe the oracle text of persist.
Yeah, quite possibly.
We're gonna go back to the for a second here while they resolve that judge call. But thank you all for tuning in to the 2024 10th anniversary Hunterbird Memorial, brought to you by Card Cash, among many other sponsors listed on the website. I hope y'all have been enjoying the top 8 showing of 8 different decks, which is still mind-blowing to me, Krista.
Yeah,
How did we get such a diverse meta so fast?
incredible. Like Wizards kind of knew what they were doing with that band, maybe.
Yeah, it
Trying
looks
to
like
shake it up.
we're back already. Okay, yeah, probably just stepping away to read some oracle text for a second. Modern's got such a large card pool that it's hard to know every single card and exactly what they do. Can't blame
True,
them.
different versions throughout the years. Tron has some access to some pretty old cards too.
Andrea taking some time to think about if it's a passing of the turn with O-Stone, or if it's an Ugin minus, or if it's just ring or nothing at all. A lot of options for Andrea here.
Yeah, they're solidly thinking out this turn, which they definitely have to. I think Chaz is definitely threatening that creativity.
Ugin Spirit
8
Dragon.
mana.
Ooh, Ugin here.
Eugene, as I like to call him, comes down
Eugene.
to sweep up all of the colored permanents with a -3 here. Takes care of the Fable, takes care of the Bitter Reunion, does not take care of the treasure, as
Yeah.
the treasure is colorless.
Notably, if they sweep it up with Ugin here, they could still crack and get the mine for the goblin and creativity next turn.
Is a dwarf.
It's a dwarf.
1/1
Oh, yes. My apologies. You're correct. It is a
The
dwarf.
Fable's a goblin.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everything gets to be goblins in Magic, although I kind of wish.
Uh,
-3 doesn't lose the O-Stone either. O-Stone's also a colorless permanent, but Jazz is going to sweep up everything else. Treasure token and Dwarven Mine available.
I think we're going to see that search for the mine here.
Yeah, maybe a Surveil Lane. Who knows?
It's possible too, looking
Nope,
for
it's
the
the mine.
creativity. Okay. Yep, the mine.
Jazz might have creativity rolled up in hand already. It'd be pretty powerful here,
Do you
too.
think he should have cast it maybe last turn if he had it?
I think he was scared of the O-Stone. So I think waiting and potentially hasting the Archon with the Bitter Reunion was a better line.
Yeah. Yeah, because he would have had the mana for it. That Bitter Reunion now gone.
Yeah, Bitter Reunion not being able to haste the Archon. I think if he has the creativity, he's got to fire it off here and sacrifice the Ugin with the Archon trigger. Got to get that off the table.
Yeah, I agree here. I think he gives it any more time, he is solidly behind this game.
I agree. Also, Chaz doesn't know this, but Andrea has a ring in hand, and the ring protection prevents Archon triggers.
It
So
would be really tough for Chaz to get through, I assume.
if Andrea ends up playing the ring this next turn, this creativity is going to be bad. Wow, just
Lightning
bolting the
bolt to
Ugin. The dwarf can finish off
Was
the
on
Ugin.
the end step, yeah.
But that's a big tell that Chaz does not have creativity here. Chaz might be in trouble. If Andrea gets to untap with his O-Stone, creativity's never happening for the rest of the game.
Yeah. That's gonna be really tough to fight over.
See a fetch for a Rakdos
Prevail
Theater.
land.
Yeah. Non-full art this time.
In on the Ugin. Ugin is now removed from the board.
Go.
Yeah, just pass back from Chaz.
Less pressure from Andrea here.
Very anemic turn from Chaz. You really hate to see that if you're on the Jun creativity side because this O-Stone plus this ring is really going to be a problem.
Yeah. I might be able to get it done. I know I'd picked the gun deck for
Saga.
the overall match, but sometimes you just don't get it. There's variance.
It's tough when you don't draw the namesake card of the deck or
Very true.
or the persist even.
Mm-hmm.
ETB. Yep.
I don't ring protection card. Also saw that Saga come down, which could start making dudes if
Yeah, really put the pressure on.
yeah, the constructs they're a quick clock.
Pass.
Pass back from Andrea.
They need to hold up that mana for the O-Stone, though, I think.
You could let the creativity resolve as long as you have the ring protection because the Archons won't trigger. And then you can
True.
pop the O-Stone at the end of that turn or when you untap. So it doesn't necessarily need to leave up O-Stone mana right now, but it probably doesn't have anything else to do on 5.
Yeah. Not too much they could cast.
Could cast like a Karn, but then you leave it exposed. So I think waiting for Karn plus Tutor cast is probably
Yeah,
better.
nothing from Chaz here, too. Passes back the turn to Andrea.
Activate.
Draws off their ring trigger.
I have to imagine this matchup might be a little bit better for Tron than the normal 5-color creativity because there's no reprieve, there's no counter spells, there's nothing stopping
Yeah.
Andrea from running her game plan.
This one's probably a little bit softer to the Tron game plan, I would agree. Maybe thought seizes for Chaz, if he had them, would be helpful, but
I think
haven't
we
seen
did
any
see
of those.
we did see a Thoughtseize on turn 1. Did not matter.
Times Tron just has it.
The redundancy of Tron, believe he took like an expedition map, but the redundancy of Tron and being able to assemble it with a lot of pieces in your deck just makes it so powerful. That's why we see Tron being so successful right now. And it looks like, wow, what a crazy finals. Tron versus Merfolk. That'd be insane. I'm not going to call this one over yet because we still have 2 games to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Both Titans of Modern have been around for a long time. I think it'd be really cool to see a Tron versus Merfolk matchup.
Yeah, throwback to 2017.
Yeah.
Modern Ceiling. Shout out to Mason Clark.
Uh,
In third place, we have Ricky Lynn with 17 match points.
Looks like a pair of chromatic spheres.
Sphere.
Andre Price with 17 match
Now, notably, chromatic sphere's a mana ability, which means you cannot respond to it, which is something not a lot of newer modern players know. So if you have something like an Orcish Bowmaster, you actually have to main phase it against Sphere if they have no mana up, because if they go to crack the Sphere, there's no responding to that trigger. The card draw is a mana ability.
Bitter Ordeal. I'm sorry, Bitter Reunion from Chaz here. Gonna discard an Archon. Wonder if he has any reanimates.
Persist?
Yeah,
in hand?
persist.
Yeah, persist plus haste would be okay here. At least get one trigger before everything gets swept up to the O-Stone.
Mm-hmm.
That Archon's never attacking here.
Would hit the house. Okay. Yep.
Land from Chaz. Couple cards in hand. Doesn't have an empty grip, so he's got some stuff to work with.
Mm-hmm. There's got to be a big play from him here, though.
It's got to be something impactful here. We do see the persist.
Okay. It's gonna come in with a -1/-1 counter, I believe.
That's correct.
Targets non-legendary creatures.
Andre taking a little bit to think about it. I think if you're Andre, you could probably afford to discard the one card to the Archon trigger and then pop the O-Stone and still be totally fine. You can also cycle those 2 chromatic spheres on the way out as well. If those were stars, then you could blow it up to the O-Stone and still draw the card, but these are spheres, so you actually have to use them as mana abilities.
Trigger.
Yeah, Andre says sure. Archon comes in.
This is target opponent.
-1. Trigger. Deciding what to discard.
With that, the triggered ability on the stack.
The trigger ability on the stack.
Just a black.
We're gonna cycle probably.
Lose in one black.
I would think maybe both these spheres here.
The plans to pop O-Stone definitely cycle both the spheres.
Yeah.
I will.
Get some value out of it.
Chromatic sphere.
Dumping a chromatic sphere.
Very spherical over here. And then
I'll lose 3.
Chad's going to pick up a card as well. Gain 3 life.
And draw cards.
Yep.
Back up to 14. Will we see the Bitter Reunion cracked for haste? It's not going to work out for Chaz, but maybe you just need to force that O-Stone anyways.
Yeah, get it off the board.
Yeah, we see him do that.
Go to combat.
Very smartly using the treasure token, knowing it's going to be swept up to the O-Stone as well.
Very heads up play.
Pay 1. Crack for an additional.
Cycling
black.
the sphere.
Cast dismember.
Yeah, having to... Oh, dismember.
Dismember from Andrea.
Oh,
Not
you- oh,
even
that's
needing to
black.
pop this O-Stone now.
And we see the huge downside of Persist. That -1/-1 counter, turning the 6/6 flyer to a 5/5 flyer. Perfect for dismember.
Yeah. It's gonna be really tough for Chaz to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, unless Andrea somehow dies to her own ring, it's looking pretty grim for Chaz here.
Andrea fully in the driver's seat right now.
Now, if Chaz has another Persist, it wouldn't be too bad.
No, we still have the O-Stone still on the field, so it's really treading water at that point.
Never gonna connect, but another trigger, it's 3 more damage against this ring that's on 2. Chaz fetches, grabs another Dwarven Mine, makes another 1/1. Dwarf hits the table.
I'll cast persist again.
Yeah, second persist.
again. Okay.
This is what we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Although,
Trying to get the value. It's
Another one. Yeah.
probably gonna get cracked by that O-Stone, but that value and getting the 3 damage to Andrea is not negligible.
oh, like I said, maybe Chaz identifies that his only way to win this game is Andrea's own ring.
Yeah.
10. Thank you.
Draw. You discard a star.
Yep.
Lots of opportunities for Andrea to get out of it, though.
Yeah, another ring, an Ulamog to exile the ring. There's a lot of ways to not die to this ring.
Yeah.
And seeing so many cards as Ring does, I imagine she will find another one before anything too bad happens.
Generally, you can find a Karn as well, and usually there's one in the sideboard. Reset that ring.
Urzasaur gets ticked up to 3 here. Probably going to float a mana. I don't imagine making another construct is what you want to do.
Especially if you're going to pop that O-Stone.
Yeah. Maybe Andre has another plan, though.
Which they likely have to pop the O-Stone here. I don't imagine they can hold it up for another turn cycle.
With 9 mana and a tower, it's 12. Not quite enough. No, 12 is enough for Karn's Cityscape Leveler. Maybe we see that as a line this turn. If
Notably, an Ulamog would also be quite the blowout here.
Ulamog would be great, too.
Float colors.
Exile still hold up O-Stone, maybe not with mana, but pretty tough. Getting Relic, okay.
I'm going to check out Andrea's sideboard here for the Karn.
Yeah, Andrea saying, no more persisting from you, opponent. I will be in charge of that.
Sacrifice.
Grabs a relic to prevent future persists.
Sounds like time in the round.
I'll draw.
Nope. Apologies. No, time has not been called yet. All right, Andrea pulling another ring. That's going to reset this ring. Less likely to die to ring triggers now.
I'm going to
All right, I got Andrea's list pulled up here. So the sideboard is
Activate
2
relic.
Haywire Mites, 1
Hold
Chalice,
priority.
1 Cityscape Leveler, 1 Cursed Totem, 1 Engineered Explosives, and then Stone
Cracking the
Bridge,
relic.
Liquid Metal Coating, Phyrexian Metamorph, Pithing Needle, Sundering Titan, Stone Brain, Tormod's Crypt, Walking Ballista, Wormcoil Engine.
O-Stone cracked. Board is free.
So the sideboard is purely composed of one-ofs, except for 2 Haywire Mites.
That's about usual for these Karn sideboards.
Yeah, very cool. A lot of options in there.
Wormcoil Engine. Even if a triggered Archon comes out, that worm's gonna split in two.
Yeah, it's going to become what we learned to be a crew of worms.
A crew of worms.
I like to name my worm tokens. What would you name your worm tokens? The lifelink and the death touch one?
Harry and George.
Harry and George?
Yeah.
They'd
like
be
to
very
call-
good worm boys.
I like to call one earthworm, the other one Jim.
Thoughtseize here from Chaz. Being Karn, Ring, and Sundering Titan. I'm sure that is not what Chaz wanted to see.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Is that a main deck Sundering Titan? It is a one copy of Sundering Titan in the main deck.
Yeah, I believe that there has been no Karn plus grab something.
Yeah.
So that is a main deck Sundering Titan.
There's one in the main, one in the board. I guess it's for these Leyline and the Guild Pack decks.
Notably not as bad as like the 4-color creative against Jund does it is against like 4-color creativity, but still would not be great here for Chaz.
Yeah, it still pops 3 lands, but against the 4-color creativity, it's more like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It was brutal against them. We see the ring get taken.
Yeah,
I
that is
just-
something that stems the bleeding for Chaz.
I just can't picture. Oh, maybe Chaz is going to go for a block plus removal spell line on the dwarf token to prevent the life gain. That might be the only out Chaz is playing to. Although that Karn, it can get a Haywire Might and exile the ring anyways and gain Andrea a couple life. So it's looking pretty grim for Chaz.
Tough position to be in. Not many top decks here. The of adequate use. Chaz checking out Andrea's exile. Notably, Karn does get artifacts from exile.
Interestingly, Andrea's list only has 2 copies of Relic of Progenitus, so the Persist plan might be a little bit better against her particular Tron list than most other ones that are playing 3 to 4 copies of Relic.
There it is. Trigger. Target you.
Creativity targeting the dwarf, instantly getting the Archon in the top 2.
That worm is going to split in two like we talked about here.
Here's Earthworm and here's Jim.
There's a trigger there, but we do all this
You
stuff first.
resolve that first.
All right. Yeah. I'll discard forest. 5.
Discarding Forest for Andrea.
Yep.
And draw a card.
Andrea's down to 5.
Triggers.
Going to go down to 2 in the upkeep.
Getting dangerously close, but as we do know that Andrea does have a ring to reset this, we'll likely be seeing that.
How many lightning bolts does Chaz have in his list?
That'd be quite interesting to see an upset here.
Chaz might steal this game if he's got a lightning bolt. Let me pull up Chaz's list. He's got 4.
There's still outs. It's very possible. What will we see here?
Lightning bolt!
Lightning bolt.
Oh my god!
Wow, I didn't think there was
Wow.
going to be an out here. Andrea's going to
Yeah,
to
good
two.
game.
Once
Andrea
it,
Still
says,
got 2 more
dang.
games. At least 1 more, but
that was incredible.
Very expertly navigated by Chaz. That was an incredible
Yeah.
display
Like I
of
said,
skill from him. Sequenced that game absolutely
I'm
perfectly.
not
Played to
sorry
his
you have
outs.
them all again.
Chaz was not disheartened at all. He played
there.
on and found his outs.
That was game
Oh,
1.
that was unbelievable. Game 1 handshake, well deserved too.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Both played well by both players.
I do want to talk about Chaz's sideboard real quick here. He's got 3 copies of Pick Your Poison, 3 copies of Veil of Summer, 2 Turn the Earth, 2 Alpine Moon, 2 Sarah's Emissary, 1 Embercool, the Aeon's Torn, 15 Mana Mama, 1 Molten Collapse, and 1 Legion's End.
I'm a really big fan of these Pick Your Poisons, the Veil of Summers, and Turn the Earths. Green sideboard cards have been amazing looking this weekend.
Yeah, green has a very good place for sideboard cards. I think in this particular matchup, you probably want just the Pick Your Poisons and the Alpine Moons.
Yeah, notably these green cards aren't super great versus the Tron matchup. Maybe more impressive against the rest of the field, but I definitely see these Alpine Moons coming in.
Do you think Chaz is going to bring in 15 mana Emrakul? It's a tough one. I'm going to guess no.
Yeah, I would probably also lean on the side of no. But I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm just going to guess the 3 Pick Your Poisons, then 2 Alpine Moons for Chaz, and then 5 in, 5 out. Probably cutting those fatal pushes out of the main deck because they do not seem very good in this matchup. Okay, looks like we're going to watch exactly how they're sideboarding, at least get a top-down view and maybe gain a little bit more insight. But yeah, I know these fatal pushes in the main deck are very dead. Lightning Bolt also not the greatest. Lightning Bolt's main target in this matchup is going to be a Karn that has down ticked to 3.
Notably in the Tron deck, you generally don't have to do too much sideboarding with a Karn package.
Yeah, probably honestly nothing for Andrea. Just gonna look through the sideboard and probably just resubmit.
Sometimes you want to board in some more graveyard hate, and then leave some in the sideboard so you can tutor for it. But yeah, let's see what Andrea might bring in, if anything.
Looks like Chaz is already shuffled up and ready to go. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what these players have actually sideboarded
All right.
throughout the game. But
You see 2 copies of Haywire Might, a Chalice, Cityscape Leveler, Cursed Totem, Engineered Explosives. We could see maybe Engineered Explosives coming in if she believes it's may need it more earlier than like a Karn could get it.
I think the engineering explosives could be powerful, but it doesn't hit the persist half of the package. So I think it's a little bit weaker against these Jun style creativity decks that are using the graveyard as a resource as opposed to the 5-color creativities, which have to cast creativity.
Yeah, no extra like graveyard effects.
There's
Usually the
Tormod's Crypt.
Tormod's Crypt stays in because you can cast Karn and then cast Tormod's Crypt for 0. So I think that one probably stays in the sideboard. The Stone Brain might come in here because sometimes you want to activate it earlier than what Karn plus can provide.
Yeah, maybe we see Chaz actually bringing that 15 mana Embercool because of Stonebrain. If Andrea Stonebrain's Archon, Chaz would have no targets left.
That would be really tough.
Yeah, normally
Not too
against
many ways for
creativity.
Chaz to win after that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Fable beatdowns from there and lightning bolts. But normally against creativity, you want to name the actual creativity
Yeah.
for the 5-color builds because they have multiple different targets post board. But Chaz is kind of light on it, and we'll see if Andrea can capitalize.
Yeah, being that this is open deck list, Andrea will know what the targets could be.
That is correct.
So
And
she may
we
actually
see-
opt to target the Archon.
Yeah, we see Andrea fanning through the sideboard, picking out a Phyrexian Metamorph. I did see the Stone Brain stay in the sideboard.
Okay. Like Seiju went back into the side.
That's reasonable. Boseju's not all that good. Only
Yeah.
target is Fable.
Yeah, not the best here.
I guess you could Boseju a Bitter Reunion, but you're not happy about it.
Yeah, I think that's a negative trade on your side.
Yeah. So something came in on the side of Andrea. Didn't get to quite see what that was. Could be Pithing Needle for Ren and 6.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because I believe does Chaz have Boseju? If he can assemble Ren and 6 Boseju, that would be quite devastating for Andrea. Let's take a look, see how many Bosejus he has. He's got one Boseju. No additional copies of Boseju Who Endures in the sideboard, but that was one of the most powerful upgrades that Kamigawa has ever given us. Green decks, anyways.
Yeah, surprised not to see more copies of it, especially when you can run in 6, kind of blow up the Tron players' lands.
I think traditionally, Jun or most creativity decks run an additional copy of Boseju on the board, but not today for Chaz.
I mean, it's possible he wasn't expecting so much Tron that we've seen in this tournament. I know I personally wasn't. I knew it
can't
would be
really
a
blame
good
him.
pick, but it kind of exploded.
So we do see that Alpine Moon in Chaz's hand already, one of the sideboard cards we were talking about earlier. And he brought in the Molten Collapse. Molten Collapse is interesting because if you cast it on turn 2, you can blow up an expedition map.
That's definitely not the worst thing you can be doing right now.
Yeah, although it's a little bit tougher to do that on the draw, which is where Chaz is right now. But maybe he values taking out Karn with it or Ugin.
That Alpine Moon's going to be pretty powerful here in slowing down the Tron opponent.
Yeah, and,
One
Boseju,
Dwarven Mine.
now that you mention it, Boseju got boarded out, but Alpine Moon's coming in for Chaz, which is a prime Boseju target.
Yeah, that might be tough. We might. Although there's still O-Stone. You know,
Oh yeah, there's ways to remove it, but
it's going to be a
Boseju,
little harder.
Boseju was a good one too. Sylvan Scry. Scry me a river. Actually,
Yeah,
scry me a power
plant.
plant. Modern Horizons 3 featuring Urza's River. Please. Just a turn 1 Dwarven Mine from Chaz. Not the land you want to play on turn 1, especially since you're running a bunch of survey lands now.
Yeah.
It might indicate that he's got mana troubles, but a Bloodstained Mire,
We'll see if he plays that Alpine Moon here or gives it a turn and waits, because Andrea cannot have Tron coming down next turn.
it's possible that he is valuing saving some number of fetch lands for the Descend mechanic on Molten Collapse, although it's not super relevant in this matchup unless they have a Planeswalker plus a 1-drop to pop.
Yeah. Not looking like it here as he goes for, I believe that's Blood Crypt.
As Blood Crypt.
Yes.
Unfinity Blood Crypt. Taking a trip to outer space. Just kidding. Gonna go get a
I
stomping
wonder if we're
ground.
seeing
Ren, maybe?
Good Reunion here. Oh, or Ren, absolutely.
Yeah, stomping ground.
Yeah, returning that Blood Crypt for the Stomping Ground. We can get that red-green mana. Yep, exactly what we're seeing here. Ren in 6 coming down.
Unfortunately, not the beautiful
Uptick, get
new
back fetch.
Pro Tour promo Ren in 6.
Those are quite something to look at.
I'm waiting for somebody to play one in paper. I haven't seen it yet. Turn 3 for Andrea.
Probably going to be playing out this power plant here if I had to guess. After that, it's anybody's guess.
Another Sylvan Scry. Scry me a tower.
Looks like there's already a tower in hand. Power plant and tower in hand.
Maybe Boseju?
Quite possibly.
Nope, Scry
Getting
me a
another
tower.
tower. Getting more towards that Ulamog mana.
Yeah. I really wonder if Andrea is going to be expecting this Alpine Moon.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, maybe.
Although open deck lists, I'm sure that he's more than aware.
Gotta be. There's the Blood Crypt that we put back the previous turn. Getting it out now.
Mm-hmm.
1 mana Thoughtseize.
Here we go. Tronland, Ancient Stirrings. Cityscape Leveler, the One Ring, and Wormcoil Engine.
You gotta love Thoughtseize. From Lorwyn to Return or to Ravnica to Theros Remastered, all the way to Thunder Junction. This card has been in so many sets, and it's still powerful to this day.
Yeah, what a player. Ring going to the graveyard is what Chads is going to pick here. Makes sense. Way too much value to give the Tron opponent.
Excuse me, it was Time Spiral Remastered, not
Yes.
Alpine Moon coming down, probably naming the Tron land that's not on the table. Typically, you don't want to fix Tron's mana and give them additional green sources if you can avoid it. So we always want to name the one not on the table currently. Probably name it Power Plant.
Right, Tron Online. 8
No
mana.
Ringo.
Oh, sorry, not 8 mana, because we have the Alpine Moon coming down. A little reflective there in the light. We are going to play another ring. That must have been a top deck. As Chaz Thoughtseize last turn and got the other ring.
You know what we call that? We call that an IRL Thoughtseize bug.
Yeah, Moto bug in real life.
Yep. There's a glitch in the matrix. Chaz not looking too happy about that. So, yeah, well, gotta play through it anyways. Still has an active Ren 6, so if we could ever find that one copy of Beseiju in his 60, that'd be huge. Might be seeing a copy of Pick Your Poison.
This is the wrong Pick Your Poison.
That is the wrong Pick Your Poison.
This is the one that is linked in his list.
That's the when they were making test cards, Pick Your Poison or Secret Lair events. But Pick Your Poison, 1 mana green sorcery. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying, or an artifact, or an enchantment. Very powerful.
I believe that Pick Your Poison would get rid of the ring.
Yes.
Sacrifice ability ignores the indestructible.
It ignores protection and it ignores indestructible at the same time.
Which is pretty good. So Chaz is probably looking for something like that here. There it is. Pick Your Poison up on the screen. Pretty new with Murders at Karlov Manor, but we're seeing it in so many decks already. Very versatile in its modes.
It's one of the most powerful sideboard cards printed to date, if not ever.
Yeah. Here is the other Pick Your Poison.
Yeah, flashing up screen. Thank you, producer. But Pick Your Poison is a super powerful common
As long as
card.
we agree that one's on mine and one's on plant, then I can just say which one I'm intending to destroy.
Sure.
So,
Okay. Go ahead.
untap.
Looked like they were asking for a piece of paper for Alpine Moon,
First blood.
just to confirm the name of probably Power Plant.
Andre down to 19, not really sweating the life too much. So a healthy life total.
Yeah, not gonna die to bolt this game, that's for sure.
Not yet.
It anyways. Maybe down the line.
2 Alpine Moons on the table, although that does open it up to possibly an O-Stone blowing it out.
One of those is a Bitter Union.
No, look. Bitter Union's down there. 2 Alpine Moons, yeah.
There's so much glare on the second.
Yeah, so that does open it up to board wipe, even although it would be pretty hard to crack the O-Stone here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long ways away. Could play the 3 mana O-Stone and the following turn crack it for 5. But that's really slow. It's also susceptible to a couple of pieces of hate.
-2 card.
On minus.
Foremost script.
Grabbing Tormod script, not used to persist here.
No Blast Zone in Andrea's list, which would also pretty cleanly get rid of these Alpine Moons.
Andrea does have 2 Besejus. It seems like she sided at least one out, so I'm curious to see if she left the other one in.
Yeah. Ancient Stirrings. Going looking. That's a rest in peace. Some spears, some Tron lands. Ballista.
Is it bottom
And
or
that's from the
Just
board?
mark it in any order.
That is from the board.
Yeah, that was sided in, it looks like.
Yep. Makes sense because you want to kill the 1/1 dwarves before they get creativity. So Chaz doesn't really have any pressure right now, but this Ren and 6 is threatening to ultimate.
Yeah, that'd be pretty scary.
At least Thoughtseize is in the bin
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
But that Tormod's Crypt is also going to blank the Ren and 6 ultimate for the time being.
Persist is a pretty dead card here too, with Andrea having that Tormod's Crypt out. There is an Archon in the graveyard, but I don't think that thing's gonna go anywhere.
That thing is never coming back in a million years. It's going straight to exile. Do not pass the graveyard. Do not collect a card and 3 points of damage. None of that's happening. Scalding Tarn for Chaz.
What an exciting match here in the semifinals.
Yeah, it's been very back and forth. Still very surprised that Chaz was able to squeak out that game 1.
Yeah, that was so impressive.
target planes?
Molten Collapse here.
Non-land, non.
We're seeing the extra mode
Discarding land.
work out here.
So Descend, slightly different from Revolt. All it needs to happen is a permanent needs to hit the graveyard. So with that Bitter Reunion being cast, Chaz discarded a permanent, and now the Descend mechanic can be triggered without cracking the fetch land, so we get to hit both the Karn and the Tormod's Crypt.
Yeah, Tormod's Crypt here going to be activated.
And yeah.
Wipes out that Archon. No possibility of that being reanimated at any point.
Nope, not for the time being. But hey, this Ren and 6 ultimate is looking pretty juicy now. Next turn, if we can
Find maybe some bolts or something.
yeah, I don't know how many bolts Chaz left in post board, but if he's got one and he's got a grip full of lands, it might be time to go upstairs.
Surreal. Okay.
There's the Rakdos Theater.
Keep it on top.
Surveil.
Up to
Snap leaves it on top.
target.
Very excited about that one. Returns the Scalding Tarn. Ren ultimate next turn.
Read it.
Andrea gonna take a look at the Ren 6 ultimate, being like, how exactly does this work?
This is
Oh,
annoying.
that's bad news for me. Okay, put it back.
Yeah. This is instant sorceries. Yeah.
You might see some retracing
Yeah.
creativities this game.
All right.
Andrea,
Andrea's full
not much
grip
to have
here.
now. Yeah. Full grip and not enough mana to deploy everything she wants to deploy, I imagine.
I can still go land, play their big dudes.
That's what's happening right now.
But we do see an O stone in hand.
Could deploy the Wormcoil engine this turn. Land number 6 into Wormy Boy.
That would be a tough threat for Chaz to deal with. I could absolutely see that as well.
Although this Ren 6, unless the Ballista comes down here, this Ren 6 is free to ult. So maybe we see the Ballista ping the Ren 6 one single time and drop down to 2 counters. It appears my microphone has died, so it'll be on one microphone for the time being. 4 mana, back
Andrea is
ring.
slamming down another ring here.
EGB trigger, I'll sack. Hold on, that's gonna kill me.
Understandable.
Places the old ring. Gets a couple more cards.
Activate.
What do we got?
List on one.
Sure.
What's the list for one?
Ping it.
All right, looks like we might be back with 2 microphones now. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Dismember, some spheres in hand.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, the Walking Ballista did ping the Ren in 6 in order to avoid the ultimate for at least 1 turn, buy Andrea some time to be able to maybe play and crack O-Stone.
Seems pretty important here. Little tough.
Although we're 2 turns away from being able to play and crack O-Stone in the same turn. It's going to cost 8 mana. Currently, we have 7 next turn with natural land drop.
Yeah, Chaz very much in the driver's seat right now.
I'd like to ask.
Maybe we'll be able to find a creativity and go off here.
He topped with the Surveil land, so I'm curious to see what he picked
That's
up
a
this
good
turn.
sign. Bad sign for the Tron opponent.
And he's gone. Magic disappearing act. Vanished.
Maybe we're getting a judge call or questions about text.
Probably a question away from the table. That's what happens when you surveil on top. You disappear. It's too powerful. Too much card selection.
Absolutely.
Okay, we get a look at Andrea's group in the meantime. Urza's Tower, Sphere, Dismember, Ancient Stirrings,
Is that a pithing needle?
Turn already.
No. That was a
Cityscape Leveler.
cityscape leveler.
Here's my magic trick. I don't know how to do magic.
That's tough.
Sorry. Not professional like that. Dwarven Mine comes down.
Dwarf in play, Chaz back in seat. Let's see what we got here.
4 mana.
X1.
Creativity X1.
Creativity.
I feel like that's what he topped with the Surveil land.
That's what I would assume too.
I hope it's 15 mana Embercool.
Let's see. Let's see if
I
you
want to see it.
Ever cool?
It is 15
is!
mana. It's going to get hasted. And 6 permanents.
That might be it.
We get to do the Tron thing. It goes back to back.
Oh,
Yeah, you just get to see them all.
right. Gotcha. My bad.
Give it haste.
I
Wow.
believe this works through ring protection as well. Because Embercool says each opponent. Or it just says
Oh.
the opponent.
GG's.
I think so.
Double out.
Yeah.
It's gonna take it down here
6.
to the finals.
Wow. 6 permanents gone.
That was impressive.
Embercool.
Couldn't have done it without the Emrakul either, so that was pretty much it.
Yeah, the Embercool was exactly what Chaz needed to win that game in that particular spot with the ring protection up. That was
Insane.
expertly piloted by Chaz. Both game 1 with the lightning bolt to close it out, and game 2 with the Embercool.
Wow. I did not see. I mean, I did suspect it being the winner, but that was a tough game. He came from behind, honestly, in the first one.
I really thought Andrea had it that game 1. But now, our finals for the 2014 10th anniversary 100th birthday memorial is Merfolk versus Jun Creativity.
Wow.
Chris, I would have never guessed.
I honestly wouldn't have either going into this weekend. What do you think takes it here?
I'm going to give it to Jun Creativity.
Really? I'm going to take the adverse and say Merfolk.
I believe with all the removal spells, the 2 fatal pushes, the 4 lightning bolts out of Jun Creativity, they're going to buy enough time to be able to persistent Archon and close it out.
Well, I think Merfolk has enough counterplay and counter spells to get around the creativity. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, post board, I mean, the creativity list does get Veil of Summer, which I think is going to be huge in the matchup as well.
Very, very true.
Subtlety, not as good against the Jun build as it is against the 5-color build either. No Teferis to Subtlety, just Ren and 6. But Ren and 6 is a hell of a card and will come back down and still take over the game anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this finals. I can't wait, honestly. I wonder if we can pull up the Merfolk players sideboard and take a look at
Do
what they
that.
were bringing in the matchup, because I kind of like speculating already. Either way.
I think this is going to be
Interview?
something to watch.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Be swapped out for Sam here, our Merfolk pilot.
Everybody.
Congratulations.
Don't see the couch.
Yeah, I'll grab that one.
You got it.
Okay, Sam. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm happy to be here. This is awesome.
Good, good. Are you excited for the finals?
I'm really excited. I don't know. I think I got a shot. I think it's a bit of an underdog in the matchup, but I think I got a very reasonable shot, especially games 2 and 3.
Okay, cool. Like, I guess, how do you expect the matchup to go?
That's a hard one. I think it really depends on whether or not I have the Spell Pierces and Vidalian Hex Sketcher. If I can get those online before my opponent is set up for creativity, I think I have a very reasonable shot. I think another thing that can go very wrong for me is if my opponent can resolve a Ren 6 and get that unlocked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they'll have more mana than I can tax them, right?
Right.
Those counter effects. So I think it's very important to get on the board fast and then hold up that counter magic.
Okay, cool. That's very exciting. I think we're gonna get started probably in about 5 minutes. But yeah, like, is this your first Hunter Burton? Have you been here a few times? Like, I guess tell me about yourself, because we haven't really done any interviews with players. So like, I'd like to hear from you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, this is my first one. So I go to school in Alaska.
That's
Came
awesome.
down here, met my friends, and we went to this event. And so, yeah, this is an awesome event. It's been a joy to play. Everybody's been super kind. Just
I need you to back up for a second. You said you came here from Alaska.
yes, I go to school in Alaska right now in Juneau.
Oh my God, that is very far away.
Yep.
I guess I hope your flight home is tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow at 2.
Okay, cool. So
Drive home tonight. So
you gotta drive home.
Yep.
I don't think.
well, I'm gonna drive to Kansas and then I fly out. So I live in Kansas, go to school in Alaska. So I'll
Okay.
drive home to Kansas tonight and then fly out to Alaska tomorrow at 2.
that's very exciting. So you've already got a grand locked up. So that's pretty cool. I guess.
There's my plane ticket.
Yeah,
Made it.
pays for your flight, right? I guess most of your hotel, all of your hotel, maybe.
I think so.
What if you win? What does that mean?
That means I'm going to Dallas with my friend for sure. So he's called already, and I guess I'm called because I'm in the top 4. So
You sure are.
if I win, I'll definitely go to Dallas with him, and that'd be super.
So if you don't win, are you going to go to Dallas?
It just depends on how my summer job works out, and I hope to, obviously.
Okay, cool.
Just to make sure the logistics work.
So it worked out choosing Merfolk, but like, what made you choose Merfolk?
Well, to be totally honest, it's the modern deck I have. So I wasn't about to buy another one, and yeah, I have a ton of experience with it, and I think that matters a lot, especially in these long tournaments. The longer you go, the easier it is to misplay, and when you're really comfortable with your deck, I think that helps a lot.
Okay, yeah, I was looking around to see if Corbin Hostler was here. Are you familiar with Corbin Hostler?
I'm not. That's
Okay, yeah, he's been doing this for a very long time. He is a Merfolk guy.
Oh,
He has
yes.
been,
Sorry, I didn't.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, we chat.
He is. I mean, I don't think he would say it on air. No, he'd definitely say it on air. He's been rooting for you like this entire top 8. He wants Merfolk to win every tournament that it's in. So you've got at least one person behind you for that one.
Have to do him proud.
Awesome. Let's see. I think we should be good in a couple minutes. Are you actually good to go down to the feature match area? Okay, cool. So I think we're gonna go ahead and cut to break. So we're gonna grab you, get the new casters in here, and then we'll get started on the finals. How's that sound?